Hello everyone. This is the first episode of Real Girlfriends, so we will start off by letting you know what is to come.
Today we are discussing things we don't like, and when I say we, I mean black women. So we will address 5 things. Hope you would enjoy it.
Let me start. How do we feel about ethnicity-based YouTube videos that are about relationships and our single lives?
Oh my god. I'm tired of some black men being all over YouTube, saying that black women are awful, blaming interracial dating of them on us, and most of all, just being so negative.
And there are black women that do the same as well. At the end of the day, I think it caters to a stereotype we should leave behind us.
Exactly. When it comes to dating, no matter how you look or where you come from, the process starts with you. So fix yourself, take responsibility for your own actions, and try to enjoy your love life.
Yes, instead of looking bitter all over the net, because you know some of you have blogs where the rants never end. Try to be productive and progressive.
Which brings us to the next thing we don't like. People touching our hair for no good reason.
People still touch your hair? Really? Well, that is just wrong. I do understand that someone can be curious about my hairstyle. I change it quite often, and sometimes my natural hair is showing. But you don't need to mess it up with your unidentified claws.
People never touch your hair?
Ha 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 no. That was just a joke.
I was already thinking of moving all my family members to where you are from. Some people are so nosy they just cannot keep their hands to themselves. Seriously though, I believe it is about respecting boundaries.
Yes.
In my experience, some people find different looking people, in this case black people, as science experiments. As long as they don't break anything, they should be allowed to touch, feel and examine you.
In short, do not touch our hair. Wait for the moment we say it's okay, or volunteer our scalp so it may be touched. I repeat, do not touch our hair. This is for all the people that risk broken fingers out of curiosity. Don't do it.
And try not to ask us to touch it either.
Yes, don't forget that. And the third thing we don't like. Stupid questions about our race, ethnicity and black femininity.
Indeed, indeed. Questions like, do all black people love chicken?
Or Jesus?
Or big booties, hung men and brown liquor?
How about this question? Why are most black women unmarried but with child?
Why are black men such loose men?
Why are most black people on welfare?
And if all those generalizations aren't enough, you are even more stigmatized by Afro-Caribbeans or Afro-Americans, once you turn out to come from the continent Africa.
Or the Caribbean.
Questions like, did you live in a mud hut in Africa?
Do you eat curry every day?
Are all your female family members circumcised?
Did you survive Ebola?
And this one really pisses me off. Do you speak African? How do you ask the question after I tell you that I am Kinshasa Congolese?
And wondering if I know all my siblings is also very offensive.
Oh, and black femininity is only a thing in the mind of a bigot.
Okay, let's not be too harsh. I believe you mean questions like, do black women know how to be soft?
Or sensual?
Or speak without shouting?
Basically, most of these questions can be Googled, and the answer you will find will clarify your own ignorance. Don't use us as a human Google search engine. Stick to the real one. Presenting number 4. Lower expectations based on our assigned gender.
And higher ones.
Don't ruin the surprises now.
When a lady has a darker complexion, she is sometimes expected to have no manners.
Have bad credit, like dear Mr. Kevin Hart said.
Or she is expected to be a single mother with an unbalanced load of problems on her hands.
Those are just some examples of low expectations darker-skinned women might deal with, while light-skinned women might be expected to be loose,
prissy,
high maintenance.
That is pretty women in general, though.
And which types of features are considered the prettiest in Western society?
That is a whole other subject.
Okay, what I have understood from my biracial nieces is that they deal with a lot of psychological analysis based on their mixed heritage.
Excuse me? You need to explain.
The lower expectation they often tend to deal with is that people ask them how many issues they have with being biracial. Questions like, do you feel black or white?
My answer to that would be, do you feel like that is any of your business?
Now that is harsh.
No, it is fair. No one wants to explain their parents' actions, especially not their acts that led to your conception or the physical result of that. So, leave people in their racial, cultural or other backgrounds alone unless you are trying to build a true friendship.
Okay, one more. the lower expectation that you're supposed to be low educated, have bad grammar, a limited vocabulary, have low income or high income from lucrative businesses and not have the wish to have a great marriage.
Also known as keeping it real.
A lower expectation you might find lingering around not just people who aren't black,
but also people who are black and consider being black as a certified thing that goes hand in hand with enormous struggles and stereotypical situations.
To conclude, misguided assumptions about us black women, based on the color of our skin without any regard for the uniqueness of an individual's DNA.
And last but not least, number 5, the assumption that we are supposed to be black superwomen.
This one I recognize. I would first point at our hair.
Our hair?
Yes, our hair. We cannot all look like Beyoncé, with her 10K hairdos.
You mean wigs?
I mean lace wigs, weave-ins and even braids. We as black women should stop pressuring each other to be our idea of perfect when it comes to hair. Most of us cannot afford it anyway.
Is it our idea?
Well, I am a natural dread sister. I see family members and friends putting that pressure on themselves all the time.
I don't think it is just women. Men do it too. They see what is hot in the media, and love to recognize it on the streets and even on their arm.
Those are boys. Men want compatibility before a black Barbie, but I digress. That is another subject.
Agreed. So we as black women should not be pressured or pressure ourselves to overspend on hair. How about makeup and clothing? I believe that people of color can truly be judgmental when it comes to clothing style.
Let's not make materialism beyond hair a racial thing. This is a very materialistic era. Gadgets, clothes, houses, cars, the look, everything is susceptible to judgment. Never in the history of humankind have people been keeping up with the Joneses like this.
Then what else is left?
Culture.
Culture?
Culture.
That makes me think of cooking.
Imagine that a man expects you to cook as well as his mom and behave as such.
In this day and age? That seems a bit unrealistic, but I see where you are going. We are supposed to be great cooks.
Like the mammies of back in the day.
And be great in bed.
Like a porn star or stripper.
And be able to handle more crap than women of another race.
Hold up. Why?
I do not want to stigmatize black men. Enough of them are great. I have just encountered several situations where I was told to be emotionally stronger because I am a black woman.
Like?
Like when I was sad over the death of a family member.
And
when a collections agency was threatening me on the phone. And when someone cheated on me or a situation similar to it was discussed with a male family member.
I hear 3 things here.
What?
Women need to take responsibility for who they allow into their personal space.
Okay, but getting cheated on is never a woman's fault.
Thinking to yourself which signs you ignored is a start. Secondly, there is a difference between a victim and a wronged person.
So bad relationships are often situations where a person has been wronged?
Yup. Or all parties in question. And third, any man can have unrealistic expectations of a woman they want a relationship with. Once it is race-related, you leave. Immediately. In friendship, you can still see if the guy will adjust himself, while keeping your options open.
Sometimes you really like the guy though.
Doesn't matter. If a guy expects you to be just like his mother in everything, or expects you to be a certain type of perfect because of your complexion, you remove yourself from that situation.
Right away.
Instantly. If you stay, buy some tissues. For you shall need them.
No one is perfect though.
Enough men are imperfect without discriminating women of their own race. That behavior is just disturbing. You must have some standards.
I do believe that having standards is necessary. And if your standard is to not deal with a discriminatory man, then you need to keep that standard alive and defend it.
Just keep your own flaws in mind once your standards are a bit more ambiguous.
For instance, if your guy must be 6'2",
amazingly muscular,
hit loads of money,
and other stuff we will discuss another time. These were the 5 things we don't like. 1. YouTube videos about black women and relationships,
or lack thereof. 2. People touching our hair for no reason,
and their possible trips to the ER. 3. Stupid questions about our race, ethnicity and black femininity.
Does your nappy hair grow? And 4. Lower expectations.
Late child support. You guys are clapping for that? And 5. the assumption that we are supposed to be black superwomen.
If I'm Nigerian and he is, that means I must be able to do everything his mother did his entire life.
That was our show. Girlfriends, we hope you liked it. Bye. Till next time.